Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. Welcome back. I'm here to give y'all the rest of that salsa history. Yes, salsa history. So if you're a Boricua out there and you're limited into the history of what real salsa was and still is to this day to some degree, but the key players, the founders, the pioneers, those guys, they don't get enough recognition. So it takes somebody like me who basically grew up on this stuff. It was two sounds in my house. It was Motown and it was Fania. So everything Motown, my mother would play, and everything having to do with the salsa genre, my dad would play. So I got familiar with both worlds. You could say I had the best of both worlds. But key pioneers in the salsa, and we're going to its rebellious years because I went over his exception in the bottom video, and then I also went and I gave you its toddler years. So with that said, we're gonna go to its rebellious years. Its rebellious years, of course, is gonna come because now the singers are actually getting paid. Not much, couple hundred a night. In the 70s, it wasn't bad. But I want to give you these key players right here because these guys are the bricklayers to this genre. And it's very important that their names live on. We have a gentleman by the name of Santitos Colon. He was a smooth, young, short gentleman with a thick mustache, but he used to sing to the women, and boy, he used to make them melt. He was known for his slow, romantic way of singing, which is carbolero. But he did some good salsa songs as well. Next up, we got Chel Feliciano. Chel Feliciano goes so way back. He sung for Tito Puente. He sung for Eddie Palmieri. He sung for Joe Cuba. This was when salsa was with South Soul. They had came out with a brief little, a couple of years where you had Boogaloo with salsa, and they named it South Soul. It was like a soul rhythm with a Latin rhythm mixed together. Well, he goes back that far, Chel Feliciano. He don't get the credit he deserves. He's from the original, before the Fania was anything. He was already well known. Next, we got Ray Barretto. Ray Barretto had New York City, every club lit up every Friday and Saturday because he was a percussionist. So he was more into solos, letting his band do solos and, you know, but he also had a great singer, Adalberto Santiago. He sang for him along with a couple others, but that was his main singer, and he was no joke. He had a strong voice. He would be like one of the top 10 singers. You had Joe Bataan. And Joe Bataan was part of that South Soul era where salsa and soul came together for a little minute. and had a baby. Um, Larry Harlow. Larry Harlow was an engineer in the Fania, but he also he was a pianist, and he loved the rhythms, the different rhythms from listening on his way home from like piano school. He would listen to the Latin rhythms, and he would memorize their solos, and he started doing his own freestyles, and he became very popular. He put his own band together, him and his brother Andy Harlow, and they were two Jewish fellas in the salsa genre who actually put in the work, hands on, giving you good music. Um, you got Johnny Pacheco, who in some ways is like the godfather of this because he put it all together. He put all the right people in position, and his way was what made it work. It wouldn't have worked no other way. You know, Johnny Pacheco gets a lot of backlash because he's Dominican, he's not Puerto Rican, but that's not the backlash. The backlash he gets is he sold out. But you gotta understand, it's like everybody. It's like saying there'll be no hip hop without Russell Simmons. You know, so Pacheco is the one hell of a flute player. That has to be addressed as well. He had his own band. He's no slouch. Um, and his singer was Luis Ramirez. He had Peter Conde Rodriguez. That was his compay. He had a good band, a very good band, and he's very instrumental in salsa. As far as bass goes, we had the best bass player, Bobby Valentin. Bobby Valentin was maybe, if not the best, top five in the whole world. That bass, he knows that thing like the palm of his hand, and he was a genius at it because he would do solos. You know how hard it is to do a solo with a bass. A bass. See, I was a musician, so I told you without the bass and the piano, you have no band. The bass is what keeps the rhythm going. You understand? So to do a solo on a bass and still make it sound good, it's impossible. It's almost impossible. But again, this is the best of the best. You know, you had also um, Hector Lavoe, and I'm gonna leave you on Hector Lavoe because he was hated as much as he was loved. He was hated. I'm gonna tell you why. He was one of the only singers who hit the five notes on key. Okay, that's one. Two is he was a what we would call a hillbilly from Puerto Rico and came to New York, and nobody could sing like him because he brought that hillbilly spirit, bomba y plena, from Puerto Rico, and he infused it into the salsa, and it just him and Willie Colon, it just was like it was a beautiful mixture. And Hector Lavoe also